All right, so now that we have our walls up, we have our door in, we have our fillers, we're gonna work on our focal point. So the rule of thumb in any reaching closet, take care of your fillers first, your focal point, your hanging, and then everything else. So I have my fillers. We're not going to do drawers in this unit. We're gonna keep with something simple for this one, and then we'll do another one that has the drawers. So this closet has sliding doors. I'm gonna add in custom dimensions. These doors are 35 inches, and I'm gonna do them on the left side as well as the right side, because I wanna make sure that when I'm designing with the openings in mind. Now, if your client did want drawers, you could put drawers here or here. You would just have to make sure that there is no obstruction when the door is open, that they can fully stand in front of their unit of drawers and open. But for this module, we're just gonna build 2 double hang, a shelving, and a long hang. I'm gonna go from left to right. I left click. I don't click and drag it, I just click it once. And then I come over here, my cursor has an arrow up. I'm going to click close to my filler, and I'm gonna toggle it until it follows my mouse. I want it to come with my mouse, like so. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna build to 30 inches. So I said 2 double hangs. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can click it, click and drag it, or you could double click. Depending on the dimension, we're just gonna copy this. I'm gonna say right of number 4, and you can copy. I'm going to do a shelving unit, and then I'm going to do a long hang. Oh, geez. Now, if you get this unit, or excuse me, this dialog box, it's because it's overlapping something. So it says unit 7, which is the one I'm trying to drop, is going to overlap my filler, which is unit number 3. Do you want to erase unit 7? I could say yes, it'll delete it. If I say no, it's going to put it on there. And it's gonna overlap. Okay. Now, this is what it looks like from the front. Kind of a weird layout. So if you're, depending on what they're trying to store, I personally, right, we'll all figure out the ways that we like to design, but I would like to keep every unit the same width, because then a client can interchange the components from one section to another. So if they decided they wanted this to become the shelving unit, all they would have to do is move these shelves over and move this rod over. So it really gives them a lot more flexibility to change their closet if everything is the same width. Now, if they're okay with it, then there's an easy way to do it. If they're not okay with it, you're gonna design with what they have in mind. So if they've got, 150 inches of clothing, you wanna make sure that you design for 150 inches of clothing. Right now, we have 28.5 times 4, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rods. So I have 114 inches of short hanging space and 13 inches of long hanging space. But if you're just designing a guest closet, they really don't care. They just want some hanging and some shelving and some long hang for their guests. Nothing else is really going to be in this closet. Then you could design with equal sections. So if you want to do the math and figure out 100 inches divided by 4 units, you're looking about 25 inches per unit, or we can do it an easier way. You can right click on these units as long as they're all the same depth, which is from the back to the front. If you highlight them in red, we want to share these panels. Right now, a client has a left and a right, a left and a right, a left and a right, and a left and a right. It's unnecessary unless that's the look that they want. But to save them some money, you can just join the units and they'll share one panel between the units. So if you right click and you select them in red, come to this white area anywhere, just so long as it's not on a wall or a unit, right click, and you've got a few options to choose from. You can join the highlighted units, unjoin them, so you can share the panels or unshare the panels and give them all their panels back. You can make the openings all the same width. If there were doors on this, you could make the doors the same width. Door overlays, which we'll get into much later on. You could change the color. You could change all the units. So I'm just going to click on this to show you what your options are. If they wanted everything to be higher, everything to be deeper, you could just click on this and put the number that they wanted. Hey, I want everything in my reach-in closet to be at least 14 inches. Right now it's only 12. You could type in 14. When you hit OK, it'll make everything 14 inches deep. We're going to leave it as it is, though. If you wanted to add backing, you could add backing to every one of these units by just hitting yes. We're just going to leave it as it is. So I'm going to highlight these units, click over here, and I'm going to join them. See how it just took out a panel between all the sections? You want to keep this panel and you want to keep this panel. But leave them all highlighted in red, come back out here, and you're going to make the openings the same width. So now it just did the math for you and made them all 23 and 11/16 of an inch. So you can unselect them by right-clicking on the unit number. And if you go to your top view, you can see they're all the same. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete them, and we're going to do something with drawers. So I've highlighted them all in red. I'm just going to left click on one, and I could trash it this way, or I can left click out here. And erase my highlighted units. So I know I've got a 35-inch opening here and a 35-inch opening here. So if my client wants drawers, I'm going to left click. I'm going to drop in my drawers. Just going to hit OK because I'm going to move this one around. I want to make sure that my client can have the drawers that they want and make sure that they will not have a problem opening them. I just highlighted this. I want to make sure it's going to be okay. I'm going to draw a line and make it straight just to make sure that we've got enough space. I don't like to cut it too close. Okay. So I'm going to click back. Now something to keep in mind, you can measure with this little point tape measure. You want to make sure there's going to be enough space to access anything in this corner. 12 inches is not really a lot of space. So I might want to put it on this side. Going to measure from this side to here. You know, we're not looking at much of a difference. So in something like this, I certainly would not recommend drawers in this unit.